Hello everyone, I'm Jacob Kaufman with Nerd on the Street, and today we are moving my RocketChat server from DigitalOcean to Linode and switching it to the Snap packaging format. Alright everyone, so I've got a 3-for-1 video for you today. This is one video where I'm kind of doing three sort of related things at the same time. And normally when I make a video, it's supposed to be about one specific thing, either one program or one how to do one specific thing, but I had some tasks that I needed to do for just server maintenance, for stuff that you guys don't normally see, just stuff that Nerd on the Street has running in the background to support the network. And I figured, you know what, this is pretty technical stuff, why don't I just record it and make it a video? So let me know if you guys like this kind of thing or not. If you don't really find this all that useful, I won't do it anymore. But if you do find it useful, then I might do this again in the future. So last month, Linode, who is one of the VPS providers that Nerd on the Street uses, announced its new $5 a month server plan. And Linode is a company that you pay them a certain amount of money per month, and then they give you a virtual private server. Our website is hosted on Linode, our Minecraft server is hosted on Linode, and up until now, our RocketChat server has been hosted on DigitalOcean. But the only reason we were still using DigitalOcean was because it was offering a $5 a month server plan, and Linode was not. So the stuff that we needed more power for, we were using Linode, and then the stuff that was just kind of side stuff that we didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on, we were using DigitalOcean, which is another VPS provider. So now that Linode is offering a $5 a month option, and it's actually got twice as much RAM in its $5 a month option than DigitalOcean, and Linode also has newer processors and other things, and Linode has data centers closer to us than DigitalOcean does. For all those reasons, I decided to switch our RocketChat server from DigitalOcean to Linode. Now, what is RocketChat? RocketChat is a group messaging platform. It's similar to Slack, except you host it yourself and it's open source. So we've been using RocketChat for over a year now. It's been really great. It was really helpful for planning out our Extra Life stream last year, and it was really helpful for Displaced Season 2. We're already using it for Displaced Season 3 and for some other productions. So we all use that to communicate. So it's sort of an important thing for the backend, but like I said, you guys don't really see that. So I wanted to move the RocketChat server from DigitalOcean to Linode for all the reasons I just explained. Closer data centers, better general servers. And doing that required me to back up our RocketChat data from the DigitalOcean server, export it, and then import it into the new RocketChat server on Linode. So we're doing two things now. We're switching a server from DigitalOcean to Linode. We're backing up and restoring a RocketChat server, which is a process in and of itself. And then number 3, RocketChat for a little while now has been publishing Snap packages, and it recommends that people install it using Ubuntu Snaps. Now, Snap packages are Linux packages that basically can be run theoretically on any machine. It's a universal installer. You make one Snap package, and then anybody who has a Linux distribution that includes the Snap program can run the Snap package. Now, when I installed RocketChat on DigitalOcean originally, I did the manual install where I was unpacking a tar file and running the application using the files that were in the tar file. So with the Snap package, you're supposed to just be able to install the Snap package, and then it auto starts and it even auto updates. I won't need to perform updates anymore. It's supposed to be really easy, but I've never used Snap packages before. RocketChat is going to be the first thing that I've ever used Snap packages for. So those are your 3 items. Today I'm showing you how to switch a server from one VPS provider to another. I'm showing you how to back up a RocketChat database and restore it. And then I'm also showing you how to use Snap packages for the first time on this channel. So that's kind of a lot. It's a lot of stuff to do in one video, but it's all related. It was all being done for one task, which was moving a RocketChat server from point A to point B. I just decided to do a little package format updating while I was at it. I did record the desktop portion of this video a few weeks ago, so if you're listening to this intro and you're wondering why I'm talking in the past tense for some of it, that's why. But if you have any questions about this, about any of the process, whether it's about Snap packages or whether it's about RocketChat, feel free to leave comments in the comment section below on nerdonthestreet.com, YouTube, or Dailymotion. Pretty soon here I'm going to be doing a video just about RocketChat, so if you have any questions about that, then ask away. But yeah, for now that's just about all the intro you should need, so we'll go ahead and cut to the desktop. Alright, so here we are on the desktop, and as you can see I've got DigitalOcean pulled up on the left here, and Linode pulled up on the right. Sorry that both of the web pages are cut off. I'm on a 1080p screen right now. So here is the RocketChat server that we have on DigitalOcean, and we are going to be moving this over to Linode today. Once again, no issue with DigitalOcean or anything, just wanted to try out Linode's new $5 a month server, and I thought this might be a good way to do it. So we are going to click this button that is cut off here that says add a Linode, and all of our instance types we can select from here. Linode 1024 is the $5 a month option. So we're going to pick that, and then location, we are going to pick, I think we'll go with Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta's just a little bit closer to St. Louis than Dallas, although I really appreciate that Linode has these places that are closer to me as options for their servers rather than DigitalOcean, which just has New York and California. I appreciate a couple of more Central America options. So we will add that Linode. And as you can see, it is being created. So we'll click on that. And Linode's node manager here, it's much more complex than the DigitalOcean manager you can see. It's got a lot more stuff going on, and it's not quite as pretty, but it is just as functional. There's just a lot of extra stuff that we're not looking at all the time shoved into the page. DigitalOcean definitely has a nicer looking page. But yeah, you can see we've got a log here of what's going on with our server. So initial configuration has been, configured. The next thing we need to do with DigitalOcean, you don't have to do any of this, but with Linode we have to go and manually create some disks. And so we've got 20 gigabytes of space that we can partition out here. But unlike DigitalOcean, which just shoves it all into one partition, Linode actually lets us pick out how much space we want to use for each partition. So Ubuntu 16.04, I don't think they switched to swap files yet. I think they're still on swap partitions, but we're actually not going to worry about swap files with this. DigitalOcean doesn't use swap files. We're going to go ahead and just allocate the entire 20 gigabytes to our disk. So RocketChat we are going to use as our label there. And so it's, as you can see, creating a file system, and it shouldn't take too long because this should be all SSDs. Yep, there we go. Took 4 seconds, it says, even though I think I was waiting slightly longer than 4 seconds. Before we do anything else, I am going to go into settings. I'm going to rename this Linode to RocketChat, just so that we see that at the top of the screen rather than that generic Linode number. So now we are going to create a new configuration profile. And this profile is going to be called Ubuntu 16.04, and no notes or anything. We'll leave virtual machine mode at the default, boot settings. I don't think that was the right button to click. Let's just try deploy an image. That's what we wanted to do. All right. Yeah, see, Linode gives you a lot more control if you want it, but right now I just want to get Ubuntu up and running. So we're going to select Ubuntu 16.04 LTS. I know that it's almost a year old now, but we were using 14.04 on DigitalOcean, so it's still an upgrade. And you know what? We weren't supposed to make this disk. We're going to remove that. Once again, DigitalOcean, you don't have to worry about any of this. This is the difference between DigitalOcean and Linode. Alright, that disk has been destroyed. No big deal. Create an image. I'm going to select Ubuntu 16.04, and we're going to use the default amount of disk size. See, Linode, with their images, they actually make you have some swap storage, some swap space. We'll leave it at the default 1/4 gig. That's alright. And then a root password. It's nice that Linode lets you specify your own root password. DigitalOcean just emails you some random password and then you have to change it the first time you log in. So now it's going to go and it's going to create the disk, sort of like we just did, except it's doing it automated this time. Alright, setting password for root, done, and now it's creating the swap image, and that's finished. So now we should be able to, alright, so the Linode is currently powered off, you can see, and if we want to log into it, we click boot, OK, and now it's going to initiate a system boot. And it's nice to have a log of these things, because DigitalOcean kind of just, they just expect you to always have your droplet on. If your droplet's turned off, it'll automatically turn on with DigitalOcean. Linode lets you have your machines turned off. Now, they still bill you for them when they're turned off, but if you want to shut down, then you can shut down. Not only that, though, you do get a log of everything that's happening. Which, history under, yeah, there's some history you get with DigitalOcean, but this is not like there's no boot logs or anything in here. There's no reboot log. So yeah, we're going to open up a terminal, and we are going to, actually we're not going to do that quite yet. We're going to log into hover, and I'm going to cut this part out of the video, but you're going to need to go into your domain name registrar and change the IP address associated with your domain name if you're doing a server change like this. That's outside of the scope of this video, but I'll be right back. Alright, so now I've gone and I've changed chat.nerdonthestreet.com. Instead of pointing at this old IP address for the droplet, now it's pointing at this lower IP address for the Linode. So if we come over here and we SSH root at chat.nerdonthestreet.com, as you can see, the first time that we've logged in doing this. And since I'm using the same domain name and a different IP address in a new machine, yeah, the IP address for the host and its host key have changed at the same time. That is what happened. So we are going to sudo nano home jacob.ssh known hosts. And we are going to go and find chat.nerdonthestreet.com, and we're going to remove that from the list, like so. Okay, and now we'll try that SSH again. There we go, so we've got a new fingerprint and our password. We'll type that in, and welcome to Ubuntu 16.04.1 LTS. So we are going to clear our screen there. Let's go ahead and make sure we're up to date. It's just apt now. I'm going to actually use apt in this video instead of apt-get. So let's see if Linode's image, 104 packages can be upgraded. All right, so apt upgrade. Linode, their image is not super up to date, but should be fine. We've got a Linode mirror for the Ubuntu updates, so nice and quick to download them all. Now we just have to wait for them to install. All right, so that's done. We are all updated. Make sure here. Yep, all packages are up to date. So I'm going to make this terminal full screen. I'm going to increase the font size a few times, and I'm going to open up a new tab. And we are going to SSH root at, and we are going to log into the old DigitalOcean machine. And as you can see, I've never logged into this machine with the IP address before. This machine is older than this laptop that I've got is. So that's interesting to note. It's been working for that long, and here I am tinkering with it. As you can see, it says new release 16.04 available. We don't need to run that. We are going to, I use GNU Screen for a lot of my servers, so we're gonna resume our screen here, and this is the RocketChat server running right now. Okay, so we've got an error here. We're gonna just stop the RocketChat server and exit our screen session since we don't need that anymore. Now, we are going to use a command called mongodump to back up the MongoDB database that RocketChat uses. So we're going to try, first we'll just try mongodump --host chat.nerdonthestreet.com --port 3000. So we'll try that. And we'll see if that does anything. Error connecting to DB server, no reachable servers. Okay. How about if we just, let's see, systemctl status mongodb. We don't have systemd. Okay. How about if we just type mongodump? Does that do anything? Hey, there we go. That seemed to work. So we typed mongodump, and now we've got this directory called dump. And if we go in here, we've got the RocketChat. All right, so this is just a copy of our database. So we are going to tar dash question mark, because I don't remember how to use tar dash cf archive name and then the folder. So tar dash cf dump and then dump, and we'll make this dump dot tar. All right. Okay, so now we have a little archive called dump.tar, and that should contain all of our MongoDB files. So at this point, I'm going to open up FileZilla in a new window, and we are going to log into SFTP, which is just going over SSH, chat.nerdonthestreet.com. Gonna log in as root, and see if that works. There we are. And if we go to the root of our drive here, maybe it wasn't the root of our drive. /root. Oh, this is the new server. This is the new server. We're gonna log into the old server, actually. Boy, yeah, I should have waited a bit to change the domain name, but that's alright. So we've got dump.tar here, and we'll download it. Looks like it's like 15 megabytes. Hopefully that's about right, because most of what we send in our chat is text. We send some pictures sometimes. And actually, that's I wonder if there's a section that we have to download. Oh. Server. Assets. I'm not quite sure if we'll have to go back and grab anything else, but if we do, then we'll just go back and grab whatever it is we need to grab. And it looks like I've just downloaded that dump.tar file into a podcasts folder. So I'm going to go and fix that real quick. Alright, so I've gone and made a new folder called RocketChat Migration just for this video. So you can see here we have dump.tar, and if we go in there, we can see all of those same files we saw in the terminal a little bit ago. So now we're going to go to our new server, and first thing we're going to do is just install RocketChat. So the new way to install RocketChat, now you used to have to download a tarball and extract it and start the MongoDB server yourself, set some parameters, and then run a Node.js application manually. The new way to do it, with this whole new Ubuntu Snap thing, is sudo snap install RocketChat server. Snap not found. Okay, snap. Currently not installed. apt install snapd. So I was under the impression that Ubuntu 1604 came with snapd already installed. Maybe that's just the desktop version of Ubuntu. Maybe it's not the server version of Ubuntu. Maybe we're not supposed to be using this for a server, but I'm not using Ubuntu anywhere else. So we'll try that again. Sudo snap install RocketChat server. And I know we don't actually need sudo because I'm logged in as root. Alright, so this is how it looks when you're installing a package with Snappy. Or just with Snap, I guess. So it's downloading the package. Alright, see what it does next. Mounting. Cannot perform the following tasks. Cannot load AppArmor profile. Now, I was under the impression, everyone, all of you Ubuntu fans out there, I was under the impression that the whole point of Ubuntu Snaps were that it's a universal installer that runs anywhere, does not have any dependencies. That's what I thought, but apparently I was wrong, because it looks like Snap is actually a piece of crap that needs dependencies and is harder to set up than just doing things manually. Like I said, not a personal fan of these new universal installers, but let's just Google this. Linode, AppArmor. What do we got here? Snapd fails on old kernel AppArmor. Yeah. Okay, so apparently Linode uses a custom kernel by default, not the actual Ubuntu kernel that has the features needed for snaps. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll clear that again, and we're going to set up the actual kernel that we need for snaps. So apt-get install Linux image virtual and grub2, and not grup2, grub2. Alright, so yeah, the Linux image, this is the kernel right here. That's Linux itself that we're installing. I've never installed Linux on Linux before, usually it's included. And then we're also getting grub2, which apparently wasn't installed before. Now, DigitalOcean doesn't really support this sort of thing at all, I'd like to point out. DigitalOcean might have a kernel that's more friendly to snaps, but it doesn't really support screwing around with your bootloader like this, at least not officially. But I'm getting this information that I'm going off of now off of an actual Linode help page. So it's really cool that they support this kind of thing. So we are going to nano into etc default grub, and grub timeout is 10, which is what they recommend. Just gonna set a couple of other options here. Alright, and most of the options that I had to set were already in here. It looks like the only one I actually had to change was this line right here, so make sure you change that if you're on Linode. So we'll save that. Next up, we'll run update grub. Okay, now we're going to go to our Linode manager. I'm going to go into Knott's chat, and under our configuration profile here, we are going to change this latest 64-bit down to grub2. So this is the Linode provided kernel that we're booting off of right now, and now we're telling Linode stop updating my kernel. And that's interesting that Linode actually manages the kernel normally. We're going to tell Linode, hey, don't mess with my kernel anymore. This is the -linode version of the kernel. We don't want that. We're just going to boot into grub2 and let me choose my kernel. So we'll save changes. And that might break some of these graphs. I'm guessing that's going to break all of the graphs, actually, because the kernel is how they modify the kernel to make it so that they can tell what you're doing without actually being in your machine. The kernel reports those statistics back. They're custom one. But at this point, we are going to reboot. And by the way, before we reboot, we're going to run uname-a, and you can see that the kernel we're running is this -linode version. So we're going to systemctl reboot. Okay, and so that's going to reboot now. We'll wait a few seconds, and we should see what's going on in our manager page here. Or maybe not, I don't know. If we try and SSH in again, is it going to do anything? I'm just going to click shutdown on the page here. So system shutdown, entered right now. Alright, system shutdown is going through, it looks like. So Linode is powered off, and then we are going to boot it. And now we should have something that is giving us our grub. Oh, no, we're not going to see anything about grub here, but we'll wait for that to finish, and we'll try SSHing. Alright, so it says that the boot's done and that it took 5 seconds. So we'll try SSHing in. All right, that's a good sign. We can SSH in. The server is still usable. So we'll log in. Cool. And now if we run that uname-a thing again, now we've got Ubuntu generic as our kernel, not Linode. So that's great. Normally I stick with the Linode kernel, but yeah, for this, not going to work. So sudo snap install RocketChat server once again. And it's going to download everything all over again. Downloading the RocketChat. So it downloaded Ubuntu Core, it looked like, first, because that's what RocketChat's going to run on. Then it downloaded RocketChat. Okay, RocketChat installed. So at this point, if we just go to chat.nerdonthestreet.com, problem loading page, okay. Let's try systemctl status snap.rocketchat server. See if it's running. Alright, it says it's running, so not 100% sure what the problem is right now. I mean, we didn't set a URL. Yeah, you can see the site URL has not been set, and I'm not 100% sure where the RocketChat... Oh, we've got a snap folder here. Alright, RocketChat server. Nothing in there. Nothing in there. Alright. So this is interesting, what we have going on right now. RocketChat is running. The task is running. The process is running. But we have no way to configure it. Because normally we configure it by editing the file, the configuration file, before we start it up. But instead, it's just running. So that's just awesome. We're going to try using a program called Caddy now, and Caddy is the program that is going to let us do Let's Encrypt to have HTTPS, which we want for something like a chat server. We want that to be encrypted. So we are going to generate a config file for that by running this, rocketchat server.init caddy. Okay, so then nano var snap RocketChat server 511 caddy file, and this is the file that we will... Alright, so we're going to set our domain chat.nerdonthestreet.com in this file. So yeah, and we want it to be HTTPS, obviously, right? Yeah, I would hope we want it to be that. And then, so yeah, right now the server is running on localhost. So this is actually, if you just leave this at HTTP, maybe that's how you set a domain name to work with the server. But we're going to do HTTPS while we're here, and then we're also going to add another section up at the top of this file. So what this is saying is anytime that someone tries to go to http /chat.nerdonthestreet.com, we want to actually redirect them with a 301 code to HTTPS, and then whatever they typed in right here. So that's just going to be a nice clean redirect anytime someone tries to visit it without SSL, and then if they do try and use SSL, then it'll go down here and go to the actual server, which is running on localhost. So that makes sense. I think we need to add another pair of brackets like this. Wow, it really doesn't like when it doesn't like when I put those tabs in the wrong spot, huh? Alright, that's what this is supposed to look like. So we will save that, and now we're going to start Caddy. Actually, it's already started. We want to restart it so it gets this configuration we just made. So we're going to type sudo systemctl restart snap.rocketchat server.rocketchat Caddy. So in terms of systemd and snaps, it looks like snap processes are organized by putting snap at the front, and then whenever the program is next, and then the individual process name at the end. So that's helpful to know, and I would guess that that's going to be mirrored with other applications that you install using snaps. So we're going to start that. Okay, and now if we go to chat.nerdonthestreet.com, now we get this, and we get a little bit of information. All right, that's just for notifications. And we've got a brand new, this is not the same certificate we were using before, it was just registered today, and Caddy is actually going to automatically update that cert for us. So that's going to be great. Now see, we've got a RocketChat installation here, and like I don't know what the default username and password is. We didn't go through the setup. You know, they made this like automatic thing where we don't have to set things up anymore, but I don't know where they're expecting us to get all of our default values from. Now there should be a command called mongorestore. Currently not installed. mongodump, is that installed? No. Alright, so somewhere on this machine we've got a MongoDB database running, but it's wrapped inside of a snap. It's not actually a native MongoDB process running. Do we have Mongo installed at all? Nope. And see, this is like why I don't like the idea of these universal installers, because if RocketChat and every other program I have that uses Mongo, every single one of those has their own version of Mongo installed, but here I am on my local machine and it acts like I don't have Mongo installed at all. Why all of this complication? Why not just have RocketChat and Mongo and everything else just installed on my machine? You know, that's how I feel about it. That is what I think about this new Snap thing. I think it's stupid that I'm running into this issue right now where I don't know how to use a program because it's wrapped inside of a wrapper, when the whole reason I use Linux is because it doesn't wrap things up in 1,000 hard-to-open boxes like Windows and Mac OS do. But I'm giving it a shot anyway because I know that snaps, whether I like it or not, they're coming down the pipeline. Let's try running ps-e. Alright, so we've got MongoD running. Oh, it's called MongoD? MongoD. But that's not installed, but it's running. Not installed, but running. Sudo snap list. What snaps do we have? All that we've got is core and RocketChat server. MongoDB is contained within RocketChat server. Snap info RocketChat server. Okay, so here's some basic information. RocketChat server.backupdb. So it's got a backup. It's got a backup command that would have been helpful back on the other machine that didn't have a backup command. Alright, here we go. I found some documentation on how to restore, because obviously it would be stupid for them to have a backup function and not restore. So this was helpful, having that there. We're going to clear this screen, and we're going to go, and now we're actually going to connect to chat.nerdonthestreet.com. We're going to do this one in a new tab just in case we need to go back. And we are going to upload this dump.tar here. Alright, so that tar is uploaded. So cd ... there's our tar file. So tar, let's see, how do we use tar again? Tar dash xf, and then the tar file. So tar xf dump.tar. So now we've got this dump folder that's got all their stuff in it. So this is how we actually get to MongoDB within the Snap wrapper. We're going to type sudo snap RocketChat server. So this is what's different. All right, so RocketChat server current bin Mongo. So normally we would just type Mongo. But we have to type Snap because it's a Snap application, RocketChat server because we're running RocketChat as a Snap, current because we're using the current version of RocketChat server, which is running as a Snap, bin because so instead of just /bin, it's all this stuff /bin/Mongo. So we're gonna run that, and now we're in Mongo's command line interface. So show dbs. All right, so parties. This is what we want to replace with our file that we've got, or our backup. So exit. All right, so we're gonna type sudo snap RocketChat server current bin mongorestore --db parties. We're dealing with a parties database, and then our next argument is going to be where we're restoring from. So that would be dump /dump /RocketChat was the name of the old database. So we're going to run that command. Failed. Okay, so that just didn't do anything right there. That not oops. That not do anything. Can I log in? No, that did nothing. All right. So you see it says duplicate key error because obviously we're restoring things that are already in the database. All right, so let's try this. We're gonna boot into Mongo, or start up Mongo, and then drop db parties. No, drop. All right, here's the syntax. To drop a database with Mongo, once we're in the Mongo console, we'll type use parties, and then we're going to db.drop database. So that's just going to drop the whole thing. All right. So now, wait, there should be nothing at all. Use local. Can we type anything in there? Can we type anything for use? Yeah, we can. All right. But at this point, if we list our databases, which we did a while back, showed databases. All right, parties has nothing in it. It's still there, but it has nothing in it. So we're going to exit Mongo. And now we are going to run the command to restore again. All right, so now it's successfully copied our old database into the new database called parties. So now if we go and, all right, RocketChat refreshed on its own. It's got our custom colors here. And if I log in here, all right, do you want to change? Yes, we want to. All right, no, it looks like our users got moved over, but our chat rooms did not, because we had a crap ton of chat room. Well, not a whole lot, but we had some chat rooms in here. All right, and our configuration did not get moved over either, because I had gotten rid of the RocketChat logo down here. Okay, all right, so, oh, well, now we need to restart RocketChat. So sudo service snap.rocketchat server.rocketchat mongo restart. We're going to do the same thing with RocketChat-server and with RocketChat-caddy. All right, let's restart or refresh now. And we've got a bad gateway. Okay, that's interesting. Not sure what could be causing that. All right, I think we have to go back and change something in Caddy again. Edit our Caddy file, chat.nerdonthestreet.com, proxy localhost 3000. So I think we did it wrong. I don't think we were supposed to. Oh, no, it's just working. And everything's here. Okay. Interesting. All right. One more time. I'm just gonna. I kind of want to make sure this is going to continue working. Kind of do want to just make sure that this will continue working. So the RocketChat server is up. You can see we've got our channels here. We've got more that are hidden, some older ones. But I can load up the general channel, And there's the stuff that we've typed in there. So that is working. We've got our DMs here. Everything has been migrated. And I'm actually going to come over here and systemctl. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to exit now. Just because I want to see what's going to happen. All right, so we can get out of our DigitalOcean thing now. And by the way, are our pictures in here? Yeah, even like pictures that we had have put in here are still here. So didn't get rid of our profile pictures. There's no other place where you have to go to get attachments. That's all in the database, it looks like. So we'll disconnect from those places from FileZilla, and then we are going to go to our Linode dashboard. That's what I was looking for. We are going to shut down our chat server just because I'm curious about what's going to happen when we do this. So it's going to initiate a system shutdown, and of course RocketChat will lose its connection there. Now I've actually got the RocketChat app installed. It's just an Electron wrapper for RocketChat, but I'm going to drag that over there. So Linode is powered off, and now we will boot again. And we'll see if everything just starts up by itself, or if we have to log in and do stuff, because since this is snaps, you know, theoretically everything should just take care of itself. Connecting. We'll let it wait the 10 seconds, and then hopefully the server will be loaded by then. Nope, still not connected. Okay, still not connected. So we are going to... Oh, it's connected now. I was just about to SSH into the server, but now it's connected. So now we can log in. And... Alright, and we've got our settings there. Here's general. Cool. I don't want to show you anything else other than general, because, you know, some of this stuff like displays 3, that's kind of confidential, business secrets. So we're going to X out of that now. But yeah, that's how you move a RocketChat server from DigitalOcean to Linode. That's how you use Ubuntu Snaps, and that's how you use Caddy. And that's also how you back up and restore RocketChat servers. So now I'm going to go to DigitalOcean, and I'm going to destroy the old server, because we've got the database backup locally, and we've got, I'm just going to actually go through this, just make sure that everything's here. Let's see, is Extra Life 2016 in here? Yeah. See all the pictures that we have in here, all of our older stuff. See, the Extra Life chat room was one of the ones we used the most. So we'll go ahead and hide that. And yeah, so once again, that's how to do a whole bunch of different cool stuff. If you have questions about any aspect of this, if you have questions about DigitalOcean, if you have questions about Linode, questions about RocketChat, although I'll be making a video just about RocketChat pretty soon, questions about Caddy, about Ubuntu Snaps, any of that stuff, leave them down in the comments below on YouTube, Dailymotion, or nerdonthestreet.com, or you can go to our forums at nerdonthestreet.com and ask questions there. For now, though, yeah, that's everything I wanted to accomplish in this video. So I'm Jacob Kaufman with Nerd on the Street. I'll see you guys later. Bye.